Hello, fishy friends. Happy Friday. Let me see if I've turned everything on. I have. Yay. Hopefully you can see me and you can hear me. If you can, let me know. If you can't, also let me know. Notifications everywhere. What's happening? Let's have a look. Okay, I think we're good. Welcome to the Friday Night Live stream, Aquarium Adventures, Fishy Business, all that kind of stuff. Where are we up to? I'm a bit behind. I'm just going to get a t-shirt made. I'm a bit behind tonight. I haven't prepared anything. Have we even got a chat? It's got to appear somewhere, surely. There we go. Who have we got? Oh, look at that. First up, NJW. Hi from Doncaster. Hi from Sheffield. Hope you're doing well. We've got Rocky's Rocky. Scott says, evening all. How's everyone? Don't forget that likey like button. Quite right. As always, there's no fee for tonight's entertainment. I say that in the loosest possible way. All you have to do is click like, share, all that kind of stuff. Dee Dee's Finden. Hello everyone. Nice to see some transatlantic friends on. Ross is in from a decidedly damp Edinburgh. Oh, it's been really nice here today. It's been peeing down earlier in the week, but it's been alright. Oh, very important decision. Is this week the last week of the month giveaway, or is it the first week of the month? It should be the last week of the month, but we kind of fell behind on that thing. So let me just go and see whether it's actually working. How did I do that again? It was Streamlabs, wasn't it? I need to get a new microphone thing because it's just in the way of me seeing everything. Let me just log in with YouTube. Graham Kerr, that's me. Aquarium Adventures, that's us. We'll get there in the end. I've got some news today. I've got lots of news today. Go to dashboard. Right, I have to now remember where the points thing was. Was it in CloudBot? I think it was. Loyalty. Oh no, we have got some points. Seems to be working. Yes, okay. Tonight's the night. Someone try it. Type exclamation mark points or points exclamation mark and we'll see if that works. But yes, it is the last Friday of the month. Is it the last Friday of the month? Let me just check that because I know Scott's drunk. Yes, it is the last Friday of the month, so we'll do a giveaway. Whether that be some merch, some food, who knows, we'll do something. If you're one of my international friends, then maybe we'll do some gift vouchers or something of an equal and equitable value. Because I ain't posting stuff to America or Australia because it costs a bleeding fortune. Right, let's crack on. Misfit Reptiles and Aquatics. Hello yourself. And hello from Sweden, says Hans. Nice to see you. Lee's in.
Oh, my balls.
Oh, we've already got an oh my balls. What's that? Noodle sandwich with the super chat. Thank you very much. Super chat's always appreciated, but not required. Thank you very much for that, though. Noodle sandwich. Zen Ginger's in, as is Kaylee and Martin. Aquarium Daily. Oh, and the chat's already jumping about everywhere. Craig, hello. I've been crazy busy with work and school holidays. Is there any update on the beast? That's also going to be a new t-shirt. Mega Tank is still leaky. We'll talk about that in a minute as well. Sound okay video, loud and clear, that's what we want to see. Silver Surfer, how are you, sir? AV good. Right, let's see who else we've got in. We've got Mark from Walsall. Needle Sandwich, sorry, I've been AWOL for a while, had some issues to deal with, but I'm in a better place now. Oh, I hope that's all sorted out. Clark's Mini Fish Room. Hello from sunny Newcastle. Well, it's dark now in Newcastle, unless it's a different Newcastle. There's Noodle Sandwich with his 99p super chat. Thank you very much, Noodle. Andy, good evening. There you go. Scott's trying points. Has it shown us any points? No. Okay, points thing isn't working. We'll just have to do a good old random draw of some kind. I don't know why that wouldn't be working. Let me have a quick look over here. At the moment it says Phil Clark is leading, with Hans Hartmann being second. What are the commands again? Commands are... You don't have any commands. Well, that doesn't make sense. It should be... Yeah, exclamation mark, points. Clearly not working. I need to come up with a better way of doing this. Anyone get any ideas? Any of my mods who stream for other people who do giveaways? What's the best way to do this? There must be a solution. I just need to spend some time thinking about it, I suppose. Silver Creek Aquatics. Hello all, moving lots of fish into multiple tanks to move 120 gallon, 545 litre into my fish shed, so apologies, we'll just be listening. That's quite alright. Moving lots of fish into multiple tanks. I know that feeling. Well, hopefully we can keep you entertained somewhat in the background. I was going to show some videos. We've got a wee sneak peek maybe. I might show you that later. No, the points thing doesn't appear to be working. I'm sorry, everyone. Mark Stelson. Oh, chat's going mad. Right, okay, let's give up on the points thing. It's not working. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. What's up, Fish Farm? Lurking and driving home. Well, hopefully we keep you awake on your drive home. Or, I don't know, what time is it wherever you are? You never know. How can you be driving home and typing? That seems dangerous. Don't do that. Which beer are we promoting tonight? Same as last week. Tonight's stream is sponsored by Beer Moretti. I've been on holiday, so I couldn't be bothered to fart about and order any of the fancy beer from last week. I will say, however, so Discord link up here. Join Discord. We'll create a new... channel in Discord, and then I think this is a grave indulgence by me. I think we'll have a channel dedicated to what beers Graham should drink on the live stream and try them out, and then we'll have a section every Friday where I try a fancy beer and tell you what I think of it. Now remember, suggestions should be beers which are both nice and accessible, so I don't want to have to order something from the back of Beyond. Some of the beers were like, well, if you order £50 worth of this, we'll send it to you for free. And I'm like, I don't really want 50 quid worth of beer if I'm not going to like it. So things that I can buy in a shop, maybe, where I could just pop along and pick out some interesting beers. But remember, my taste is plain. I like your kind of generic lager. I don't really... Well, maybe that's what we're trying to do, expand my taste into the whole craft beer thing. I'm a skeptic, let's put it that way. So suggestions that can maybe lead me down that path without putting me off straight away. Maybe that's the way to do it. So we'll have a section in Discord, put some suggestions in there. I'll go out and buy them, and then we'll see what happens. It could be me on the floor. I've not had dinner tonight, so we'll see how many beers it gets before I fall over. But yes, I haven't promoted anything different, so they've just gone with what was on offer at the Co-op. So there you go. Tonight's sponsored by Heineken / Beer Moretti, which is nice. It's fine. Nothing wrong with it. I'm just back from a 5-hour road trip, so I feel like I deserve it. Where did we get to? Sorry. I do waffle on sometimes. Good evening from Merseyside, says David Pinner. I was over in that direction. Has Megatank sank? It's not quite sank yet. I have been working on Megatank, so I have spent some time in the fish room this week. Regular viewers will know I've been having a bit of a break from Megatank because it was doing my head in. So I've been trying to clean it out, get all the sand out, get all the water out properly because there was still like a little bit in the bottom, clean up all the edges, and I'm at a decision point of, do I try once more to reseal? A couple more coats of liquid rubber, a bit more silicone, see if that does, because it was a very small leak, or do I just bite the bullet and go for fiberglassing? And now that I've had a chance to go in there and inspect it properly, I can't see anything obviously wrong, so I'm thinking one more try at resealing might be the way to go, but we'll see. I'm not going to make a video about it, I'm just going to do it, and once I've got a solution, then I'll bring the video out, because I think I'm oversaturating the market in failed big aquarium builds. So I don't want to make too many videos of, I tried this and that didn't work either. So I'm trying variations on a theme. If I do go down the fiberglassing route, obviously I'll film that because that's new and different, and I haven't done that before. And that'll be the final thing. If that doesn't work, petrol match, yeah, we'll film that. That'll be fine. That'll probably be one of my best videos if I do go down that route. But Megatank is a back burner for the YouTube channel. I'm working on it, but I'm not just going to keep making videos of me doing the same thing over and over again as I try and find this stupid bloody leak, if that makes sense. I'm so behind in the chat already. You're a very chatty lot, aren't you? That's a good thing, I suppose. Where did I get to? Sorry. I think when I get so far behind in the chat just explodes on my screen and I lose my place. So I do apologise if I miss any comments. Amy, there's a new name. I've not seen that name before. Oh, hi. I watched your pea puffer video yesterday. The first I've seen of yours. I'm a new fish lover. What a fish to start with. Pea puffers are one of my favourites. Welcome. Hope you're well. Yeah, points. It used to work, but I've probably broken something or not paid for something or who knows what. Don't worry about it. We'll find another solution. Rob, not seen you for a while. Have you missed much? No. Me repeatedly killing fish and breaking fish tanks. The usual kind of stuff. David Park has a question. Does he? Why did I not see that? It didn't light up. I don't see anyone called David Park. Oh, there we go. There you go. Has Megatank sank. So yes, I've answered that one. Just a shout out to Owasi Technical Support for helping with my Seriously Leaker Filter superior service. Well, that's interesting. Owasi are, well, to my mind, known for their build quality. I've never had anyone had to deal with their tech support or their customer service or whatever you want to call them. So that's good to know. What was the problem, Ross? And what did they do? What made you so happy? Noodle, my sump's up and running now. Not managed to flood my house yet. Oh, I hope you're touching wood as you say that. It's a definite invite to the gods to flood your house. I was at a stoplight. It's okay. Okay, as long as I don't want anybody doing dangerous driving and I get the blame for it. Man dies in horrific car crash while typing on his phone. Punk IP, anything from Punk. IPAs. See, I know that's quite meek by craft ale standards, but the ones I've tried so far, I've been like, it's all right. That's as good as I would say. Whereas this is delicious. I'm so bad. It is. It's just nice. David's at the planning stage of building a sleeper pond in the garden for koi, 8 foot by 8 foot by 5 foot deep. That sounds good. Well, we want to see pictures, so make sure you share on Discord and show us what you're up to. 8 foot by 8 foot, that's a decent size. 5 foot deep, that's a good depth. Is that planning for next year to build? Because we're getting to the end of the pond season. Oh, look at that. Zen Ginger. Discord server. Come check out the Discord server. Perfect. Thank you very much, Zen. Maybe start with the standard punk. See, these are terms I don't even understand this. Punk. Is that a brand? Jeremy. Hiya, Fishy Peeps. Hello there. How about ciders? Hey, I don't mind a cider in the summer. I used to like all kinds of ciders. I got right into the whole cider over ice thing when that became quite trendy. But yeah, I really like cold drinks. I don't know if that's just me. My wife always kind of looks at me weird when I won't drink things that are warm. But I used to like scrumpy and things like that as well. Anything by Innocent Gun. I do like an Innocent Gun. I like, they're the ones that kind of opened the door to me to your, because they're not craft ales though, but they are a little bit different. But they're just tenants, aren't they? Whereas this is just Heineken. Innocent Gun's just tenants. A farty about one. Silver Creek Aquatics, only 15:09 here, 3:10 as we call it. But I'm having a Four Corners Brewery El Chingon, an IPA 7.3. Lots of words. I'm having a Four Corners Brewery El Chingon, Chingon, an IPA 7.3%, 7.3%, and you're moving around fish in fish tanks. That's got disaster written all over it. Good luck. That's all I can say. Our Aquatic Universe with Mike B. Hello, Mike B. I assume you're Mike B. Zen is not one of the mods on Discord, so someone promote her. So speaking, you can come and join the private chats the moderators and admins have. Start early is the way. When in Texas, have a beer. Hey, maybe I should move to Texas. Head Full of Dynamite from Fremont Brewery in the US is my favourite IPA, but I've not found it in the UK yet. See, I want some, let's call them introduction beers, where they're not too weird, and it's that whole, we covered this last week, when people are like, getting plums and extra hops, and you're like, nah, it's beer. It's either nice or not nice. I need to be gently, with kid gloves, taken into the whole craft beer world. Otherwise, I think I'll just get put off. I hear when building a big plywood tank, you've got to fiberglass the corners. Is that where your leak is? Don't know. So, certainly, the conventional wisdom is you have to fiberglass everything. And the corners are obviously the weak point, because that's where the joins are. But I went a different route. And I don't want to bore everyone, but I went a different route. It should work, but hasn't. I don't think the leak is a corner, but I don't know. Tomislav Kosmovich. Sorry if I'm murdering your name. Greeting, how's the Discus Aquarium progressing? Well, we ordered the floor today. I know that doesn't necessarily follow on, but basically, the Discus Aquarium, the display aquarium, is going in my hallway downstairs, and the floor needs to be replaced. And we ordered the floor today, so when that comes in, the aquarium gets rebuilt, and then we put Discus in it. So we're getting there. Brewdog's a good bet. Brewdog, so for those who don't know, is I think they're a UK company, aren't they? But see, even with Brewdog, I've gone down the road. Some of them, I've thought, yeah, that's fine. There was one that I did like. What was is it the Lost Lager, the Brewdog one? I really like that. But that's because it tastes like a generic lager, I think. But some of them have been just like minging. Like, go, oh yeah, oh god. There used to be a Brewdog pub in Sheffield. I think they were a Brewdog pub, but anyway, they sold lots of Brewdog beer on draft. And we went through them all one night, and it was just, oh god. It was not nice. I did not enjoy it. I'm going to sneeze. I really should have a mute button for this. Oh dear. Maybe I'm not. But yeah, I suppose some of the nicer, safer, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, something that's safe to get me into it when I can say, oh, I like that one, and then you can explain to me why I like it. I think that's the way to look at this, because if it is an IPA and you say, alright, IPAs, these are the things that make an IPA good and why you would like them, therefore level 2 is try these ones, and then by the end of it, 1, I'm probably drunk, 2, I might have a greater understanding, and have a whole new gamut of beers to try out. This is Welcome to Aquarium Adventures Beer Night. Craig, I'm in the planning stages of building a 22-foot reef tank from plywood to 2 8-foot sumps. 2 8-foot sumps? Why would you need 2 8-foot sumps? Should be a lot of fun. Hope I don't get a leak the same. Yeah, well, that is one of my reasons for doing this. It's the public service announcement of how to build a big tank out of plywood. And at the moment it's more how not to build a big tank out of plywood. So there's loads of videos out there on the conventional way to do it, where you use your plywood, you use pond shield or pond armour. I can never remember if it's pond armour who make pond shield or pond shield who make pond armour. Over fiberglassed internals. So I tried to go a different way, and I still believe that it should work. It just hasn't worked yet. But I've also become very lazy and kind of got disheartened by it. So that's why I'm making a break from it to then get back to it, and we'll either prove it or not by the end of next month. I'm a cider man myself, says Noodle. So Chaplin Cork or Henry Weston Vintage are my go-to. Henry Weston Vintage. I'm sure I've had some of them. I do like them. Okay, Rossi's filter. After a maintenance session, the filter was leaking from every available orifice. That's okay, interesting. Contacted tech support after discussion with them and provided with new parts free of charge. See, that's what you want, isn't it? Maybe I should try that, because I bought a filter recently from All Pond Solutions for my pond, a UV filter, and if you saw the last video, within 10 seconds of me touching it, I snapped a bit off it. And alright, I might have big meat hooks, but I didn't put any great pressure on it or anything. It was just like, and I looked at it funny and it went and broke. My dealings with All Pond Solutions in the past have been kind of 50-50. Sometimes they've been great and they've been like, oh yeah, we're all over that. And sometimes they've been like, la la la, not listening. To the point where I haven't even bothered to get in touch with them to say, this is broke, because I'm kind of 90% sure they'll say, well, that's because you big clumsy git, you broke it. I feel it should be able to stand up to the amount of pressure I put on it, so maybe I'll give them a chance. Because I had a big tank that I got from All Pond Solutions, but it's leaked, and they saw on my YouTube channel, and somebody got in touch, oh, that's terrible, let's help you get this sorted out. And then what they actually did was just send me a load of links to new tanks to buy. I was like, no, I thought I was going to get some kind of compensation for the tank leaking after a year or whatever it was, but no. But anyway, they've also been nice to me on other occasions, and they've replaced things for free as well, so I think it's just kind of hit and miss. And maybe it's an evolution thing, so over the years they've got better. They must do, because they're a fairly big deal in the UK aquarium scene. They sell lots of things. A lot of them are like Chinese products that are rebranded with All Pond Solution stuff, but it's dead easy to buy from them. They're reasonably priced, delivery's quick, they've usually got stock of everything that they sell, so I don't want to be too down on All Pond Solutions. I have used them quite a lot. Right, almost half of you have forgotten the like button. We're going to have to do some more admin. We have 51 concurrent viewers and only 31 likes. Come on, people. All you have to do is click the button. You don't have to give super chats as much as it's enjoyed. You don't have to join the channel as much as that's enjoyed as well. If you do join the channel, you do get access to loads of... Why do I forget this word every week? Loads of emojis. There's the word. Custom emojis. And the more of you that join, the more emojis we get. So that's a thing. You also get a 10% discount for all Hero members at aquariumadventures.co.uk. That's where you can buy all your fish food, your merch, and that's it for the time being. Plants, fish, coming off sale. I'm not doing any of that for a while. I need to concentrate on other things, so it's just fish food and merch for the moment. Internet gone down again. Hopefully not. I appear to be there. But yeah, subscribe, that wouldn't hurt. All these things are all nice, but just having you here. What is it they say at weddings? Your presence is present enough. Look at Graham rubbing it in. Just back off 2 weeks holiday. Followed your advice in the recent video and all tanks in good shape. No losses. Thanks. I'm glad it worked for someone. If you watch the next video, Graham, you see what happened to me. I followed my own advice too and killed all my discus. Hello, number 1 son, 2 son. Yeah, so I think I still maintain it is good advice, what to do when you go on holiday stuff. I was just unlucky, and it was just ironic that it was me that was unlucky, and having followed my own advice made a big massive boo-boo and had a big problem. But that leads me to talk about one of my, well, in fact, both lead comments lead me to talk about my big announcement. You may have remembered on last week's stream, one of the subscribers, Dan, said, "Oh, I've got a load of discus, I'll give you some if you want." And I kind of went, that'd be funny, yeah, that'd be great. I went and saw him today, and that's where my 5-hour road trip was. I went over to Warrington to visit Dan, who, he does sell discus on, he has his own website and everything, he does sell them locally, but he's more of a hobbyist breeder. Sorry, it sounds like there's a helicopter about to crash into my house. He's more of a hobbyist breeder, and I went over to visit him, and he has a small fish room, an immaculate fish room. It's so clean. I was so embarrassed for myself. I just thought, why is mine not this clean? But anyway, I digress. He has a lovely little fish room, really well laid out, loads of tanks in it, and has lots of discus, and that's kind of my favourite thing in the world. So he gave me a bunch of them. I took 9. And even then I felt, he wouldn't take payment for them. I'm going to send, if you're watching this, I'm going to send you some merch and stuff and fish foods and all kinds of things. But yeah, gave me 9. Wanted me to take more, but I thought I was taking the piss a little bit at that point. So I've got 9. Small, so there's some growing on to do, but still. I wiped out an entire discus tank when I went on holiday, and he took pity on me and said, "I saw all your videos, you're having loads of problems." Admittedly, most of them of my own making, but made me the offer, said, "Yeah, come on over." He doesn't ship them, so you have to be either willing to go and visit him or live in the vicinity. But you too could go and buy some of his fish if you want, because he's got quite a few. Like I say, lovely tanks. Got to see the adults, the grow outs, the grow on his personal fish, all that kind of stuff. It's fantastic. I really, really, really appreciate it, because that's not something you have to do, but I've obviously got the best subscribers in the world who reach out for things like that. So I went over. I took a few videos. He didn't want to be on camera, which is perfectly reasonable. Why would you? But I haven't, like I say, I've just got back. I've just put the fish into my tanks, getting them up to temperature and putting them in and everything. I've not edited any video or anything, but I went with my little camera, took some video of his fish room, and I've just pulled the card out and stuck it in, and I was going to have a look and see what it is. Maybe we can share it with you. Who knows? I don't know if you can. Oh, right, okay.
Oh,
you
yeah.
should be able to see that. Maybe I should cut the sound, because we don't want to hear that. So this was one of the pairs who just had fry on them. It's a terrible angle. I also didn't have my glasses with me, so I couldn't actually see. That's the one thing about this tiny little camera, is you can't actually see the screen, so I have no idea what I'm getting. But this was one of the pairs. He had some meth blue in there, and that's why it's a bit funny coloured. But if you can make it out, there was lots of little babies on the parents. That was day one of them going free swimming. And this was one of the things that got me into discus breeding, completely hooked me, was seeing how discus look after the fry. But that was a bit terrible. Maybe I'll have to try and edit that. Here's another pair. But look how clean the tanks are. It's just how embarrassed am I. Some guppies. This was some more of his adult fish. So, as you can see, lots and lots of discus. And he did have a mix of discus, so the ones that I've got are from a punctured pair. So punctured discus is a thing over here, a bit like I don't know, in the US where they have Hans discus, but that was more stinkers and stuff like that. So this is a line that's been going for a while. So he basically said, yep, anything out of this tank, go for it. You can have it. So I even got to pick out my own fish, which I thought was pretty cool. So there will be a video incoming of Graham showing you all these, which ones I picked. But they were all pretty good. So I'll say this in the video, but my general technique on picking fish is, let me pause that there. I don't claim to be an expert on these things, so this is just my way of doing it. Is overall shape. Discus are meant to be round, hence disc. Then I look at eye size. So you don't want one where the eye is too big in relation to the rest of the body. General conditions, so I'll check out the gills, check out the fins, make sure everything's neat and tidy, and then that's pretty much it. So some people will then go on to say, oh, I want to see the pattern, or I want to see the colour, but when you're picking fish this size, the pattern's not really fully developed yet, and you can be surprised by some fish that'll have almost nothing at this stage, and then when they get to be full adults, they can be some of the more stunning fish you've ever seen. But a lot of these ones did have some colours, did have some the start of some patterns coming through, so I picked a few that were just the ones that I liked the look of. That's me pretending to feed them, and they're all coming up for going, oh, is it Din Din's time? But yeah, it was fabulous. Or maybe this was the tank that I got to pick out of. I now can't remember. Yeah, I think it was this one. But still, I've got pretty much restocked my discus tank. And this is me just going, oh, is this a big dog rack? But apparently I have advised him in the past to get a big dog rack. So there you go. So there you go. Wee sneak peek. So things are looking up. I was a wee bit down, a bit disheartened at the fact that I was just getting to the point of getting my big discus display tank ready again, and then I lost all my discus, or most of my discus. So now we've replenished the stock, so we've got some more content as well. So now I get to talk about adding discus, socialising discus, growing discus. I'm going to do some cross-contamination checks and quarantining, see if these discus will live happily with my existing discus, so I can put them all together. And because I've now got 9 of the same strain, I should get a good pair out of them to do some more breeding projects. So lots of good things. So that's a little sneak peek. I've not edited any of the video. I literally got back a couple of hours back and had loads of family stuff to do. A new leak has developed itself in the fish room, but thankfully nothing to do with my tanks this time. It's to do with a toilet, a clean side of a toilet. So I had to fix that as well. So lots of things to catch up on. So tomorrow, hopefully, we'll get that video edited. Now that the fish have had a little bit more chance to settle in, we can look at them a bit better. But yeah, how much happier could I be? I've got some new discus. That's all I want. So that's my big news for today. Am I still streaming? Yes, I am. Excellent connection, it says. So hopefully you enjoyed that, and you can enjoy the full video when it comes out the next day or two. Zen threatened me with a ban because I said she could stream with me. I like to live life dangerously, says Silver Creek Aquatics. Oh, Mike B hasn't had a beer in a while. Right, I think we're getting a bit beer heavy now. This is now going to take over my entire stream. I tried to put a little bit of fish there, now we can talk about beer again. I just got home and cracked open a 20-ounce can of Voodoo Ranger Juice, Force IPA, 9.5% ABV. I understood most of those words. Voodoo Ranger Juice, Force IPA. Oh, I don't know what that is. Brewdog's Bristol based, there you go. Oh god, I'm miles behind in the chat again. Punk is by Brood. I thought it might be. There you go. Zen has debilitating stage fright I really like you, but I will ban you out of pure fear. So this brings me on to my second announcement, and I don't know which one I'm more happy about. So since I've moved house, we haven't had any guests. We had to cut the Meet the Mods thing where we had the moderators on, and we could have chats with them, find out a little bit about the moderators, what kind of fish they're into, and what little gems and nuggets they can share with everyone. But my internet's just been pants, as noted in most weeks where it cuts out at some point, usually with me making a face like. So I have new internet coming, and not only new internet, much better internet. So we're having full on gigabit internet. I can't wait. It fills me with so much joy. A lot of you, that will mean nothing to you, but there'll be a few people who'll be, oh, really? It's not the fact that I'll be able to stream in 4K. Why would you want to look at this in even higher resolution? It's not the fact that I'll be able to download films and games in seconds rather than minutes or hours. It's the stability. Oh, that'll be good. But I'll be able to have guests on again. We had Brandon from Coldwater Aquatics, where it just kept cutting out because my internet couldn't handle me streaming as well as talking to him on my computer. So the way I usually have guests on is you join the Discord, and then we have a live stream guests channel. You jump in there and I share the screen and we have the back and the forth. But whenever I've done it on this new internet, it's just kind of going and been terrible. So now with full gigabit internet with 500 meg guaranteed, we will see, that should not be an issue. We can do that. We can have several guests on. We can have several guests on while all the kids are watching Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever they want to do, and it'll still be good. It's just, it makes me so happy. I'm sorry if that means nothing to anyone, but it was really doing my head in. You might have noticed it was doing my head in anyway because of the amount of swearing that I do whenever it breaks. It's not that it's unstable, it's just terrible as well. I mean, I remember the days of dial-up, so I'm being very, what's the word? This is the point where Graham immediately forgets how to speak English. I'm being, not precious, I'm being very, when you're dissatisfied unreasonably. Because I remember measuring internet bandwidth in K rather than megabytes or gigabytes. But having gigabit internet, that's, I don't know what I'm going to do with all the power. Anyway, that was my other piece of big news. Right. Oh, right. Craig has explained himself from earlier. Craig was having 2 8-foot sumps. One is for equipment and the second to be used as a refugium. Oh, I still don't get it. Why would... Surely refugium's just an area of your 8-foot sump and you put the equipment in another area. Who knows? I'm sure you thought this through and know better than me. Oh, and here's the next bit of news. David, has your pond water cleared with your new broken filter? Yes and no. So, the broken filter broke. I put in a UV filter, assuming that would then clear the water, and I would have to run it for a week or two before it actually made a difference. Now, obviously, I broke it as I put it in, but it was still ran the water through the UV part. But because it was a plug-in, universal sign language for plug-in, because it was a filter that you had to plug in rather than solar powered like the rest of the pond, I had to run a power line in through the side door, as it was, and plug it in there. And a gust of wind came and blew open the door, because I had to leave it open a crack so as I could run the wire in, blew open the door with such force that the door exploded. And the look on my wife's face was not to be messed with. So that was clearly a unplug that, fix that door, and stop running cables through that door. You can't leave it open like that. So that was the end of that one. So we had to pause that little bit of experiment, and I have then... We also went away for a few days, so I went to visit family in Scotland, so I couldn't really leave the door open or run a line outside. So, fine, put that away. have to look at a new one. So I tried this stuff. Now, what is the stuff called? It was a green water treatment that I just went on Amazon and said, well, what's the next green water treatment? Let's see if I can find it. Yeah, it was... I had almost zero faith that this was actually going to do anything. But I bought this stuff, which I will put in chat. And if you buy it with that link, I will get a penny. But it's down in price. I love a bargain. It's this stuff. Tetra Pond Algorem. Clears green water. I thought, that's good. It also says 24 hours. Treats green water within 24 hours. Combats floating algae. I thought, that's exactly what I need. And it was... I think it was half price when I bought it, but it says it's down from £10.30 to £6.79. I bought it, stuck in a couple of capfuls, went, yeah, let's see what happens. The next day, crystal clear water. Even the fish were a bit like, oh my god, we're going to get eaten now because the herons can see us. I couldn't believe it. It worked brilliantly. So it's safe with fish, safe with plants. Just binds up the algae, basically clumps it all together, and you can just scoop it out and get rid of it. So I now have a crystal clear pond. So, yay, Tetra Algorem, approved. Craig agrees with ABC, the voodoo juice is lovely. I personally dislike the IPAs from the UK, not found a good one yet. US IPA for the win. Isn't IPAs all the same though, surely? India Pale Ales, so none of them are from the UK. Or am I misunderstanding drastically? Oh, look at this. Aquatic Biotope Creations is showing off all the custom emojis. Freshwater-like recommendations for a 50cm deep tank, ideally spotlight style to hang over the tank, but less than the cost of a kidney. Spotlight. I was looking at spotlighty ones recently. What was the one that I didn't buy it in the end, but I looked at it. I thought that's reasonable, and the specs of it seemed quite good. Oh dear, I've got one of those, I'm going to sneeze and then don't sneeze. Alright, I can't remember if it is this specific one, but on Amazon, again, it was this kind of thing. I can't remember if it was this exact one, but they're searching on Amazon. There was a few of that ilk that seemed to be really good specs, depending on what you want, because if you don't want it to be, if you're not that bothered about plants, you can get slightly cheaper ones because they don't have the necessary, what's the word I'm looking for, light colour range, but there was one like that. It might have been this one actually. That looked quite good. Oh, maybe it wasn't this one. I'm pretty sure it was a fanless one. But yeah, maybe it was this. Clearly not researched this. It was a while ago. But yeah, it did come with an app and everything. So there's a few, but I haven't actually tried them. But maybe someone in the comments will know. Big face. Try a steel bottom red stripe with rum. There's a word I've not heard for a while. Tried them in Jamaica and ended up blutered. A red stripe with rum. Okay. I can't believe you have favourite children. Hello, number one son. Oh, no, number two son. In order of appearance. Number one son's the eldest. Number two son. But yeah, he's definitely in my top 3 favourite children. How's the snakeheads getting on? I missed the live stream the past few weeks. Glad to be back. Hello, Lewis. The snakeheads are, as far as I know, getting on fine. I only ever see one at a time, which is making me think one of them's died. But they look differently. They're annoying the hell out of me because I never see them. I've had to set up the GoPro for the snakehead tank so as I can see whether they're actually eating, because they just won't come out whenever I'm down there. So I'm going to redo that tank and take away a lot of the decoration and hiding places from it, because I never see them. I don't know whether it's because I've moved them into a lower tank and I need to put them back up high, because some fish get really upset when you put them down low or put them up high and vice versa. So the change I made was I had them in a tank that was kind of end on. So the tanks that I have in my fish room, they're like 2.5 foot tanks, but I have them end on, so as I see the short end. And I had them on a high tank like that, and they would come out quite a lot. They would almost feed from the hand. They did spend a few weeks hiding, but then they got used to me and that was fine. Since I moved them, they have not come out ever. And I catch a fleeting glimpse of them every now and again, or I have to go in and kind of dig around and say, "Are you still in here?" "Oh yeah, it's still there." And they look quite fat, and they're clearly feeding. They're just not feeding when I'm there. So I'm going to have a wee change around. So that'll be a video that will come up soon, so as I can see more of them, because they're cool as hell. I just don't see them much. What a legend. That's what this community is all about, giving back when you can. Well, I assume that means Dan. Yes, exactly. You hear that? It's like an owl. Owling outside. Owling? Hooting. Graham, didn't mean to rub it in. That's quite alright. Right, I'm way behind. Let's see if we can catch up a wee bit. It was a Sikorsky S-92A Coast Guard helicopter you heard earlier. Was it? Ah. I do have this. One of my colleagues that works right into his airplanes and plane spotting, he's put me onto this. It's like kind of flight tracker type thing, but on steroids, where you can see everything. So every time I see a plane, I run inside and try and load it up to see what it is. I should have got that up there, and that would have told me that's what it was. Nice looking discus. You'll have to share how they grow and develop. Exactly, that's the whole point. I will be pleased to share with you the development of them. Hopefully. I've also got a new I should say this. I've got a whiteboard in the fish room as well, where I've got it has been, and then I change the number every time, it has been 27 days since my last catastrophe, so I'm hoping that we get that number up into triple figures soon. And you get to see these discus grow up, rather than me making great plans and then doing something stupid and killing everything. Right, where did I get to? Hands. My LFS had some tiny panda cories, and I apparently can't resist that, so I picked up 23, even though I have at least that amount in my cory tank. Also picked up another Corydorus robustus. Very cool. I need to get some more cories. I've only got starebys at the moment. I need to get into them. I love them. Cool little fish. I'll happily return and bore people again, especially with my newest tank. Yeah, well, everything's changed, hasn't it? So some mods have moved. We've got new mods. We might even get more new mods. Who knows? We never got round to some of them. I'm pretty sure we didn't get to Mickey, did we? So we missed Mickey. We've now got Zen as well. So Zen, you'll have to come on and tell us all about yourself and share your hobbies and passions. He's now regretting volunteering to be a moderator. ABC Aquatic Biotope Creations. I'd love to be a guest. Yeah, exactly. Maybe we should just do more of that. We can get people jump in, tell us more about interesting things. If I'm not mistaken, you're the Coldwater native shiners guy. Am I remembering that? Which is just something I don't know anything about. So we had a little bit of a chat with it with Coldwater Aquatics we had done a couple of weeks ago. So I'd love to take that a bit further. I'd love to see Graham do his impression of glitchy internet again. It happens every now and again. There you go. There's Dan. There's Dan the Discus Man. I was telling everyone, well, you probably heard that. That's why you commented. I was telling everyone how happy I am. Yes, they're all in. They're all. It's weird. I've bought lots of discus over the years, and these ones I've not treated any differently or done anything with you. But normally they go dark, they hide. It takes a few days for them to come out of their shells. But these were right up at the front, like, so you're the new owner, are you? This is my new tank, is it? These are my neighbours, right? Okay, yeah, swimming about, quite the thing. Anytime I put my hand near it, they were straight up as if I was going to feed them. I've never seen that within like an hour of putting them in a tank. It was great. But yes, very happy, very appreciative. It was nice to meet you, and yeah, I can't believe that worked so well. I did have my thoughts at this. I'm like, is this the adult version of, oh, hello, would you like to see some puppies? And this is how like weird internet killer, stalker, kidnapper type people get their victims. They just find like a niche hobby channel, streams, and says, I'll give you some of those discus. Then I drive over there all happy. Yeah, get lumped over the head and put in a freezer. But no, he's an actual person with family and dog and everything, and totally normal. Didn't try and kidnap me once. So yes, there'll be a video coming out soon of my visit over there. Without Dan being on camera, because he didn't want to do that. Obviously, that's fine. Most normal people don't want to be on camera. But what was it he said when I turned up? Oh, you look just like you do on the internet. I thought that was quite funny. Yeah, that's generally how I look. Right. Scott, sorry I'm late. Hope all are well. We are. Where do we get to? What IP have you gone with to get 500 megabyte guaranteed? I'm a glutton for punishment. It's PlusNet. Basically, when I moved here, I signed up with PlusNet and I was just more about getting something sorted. And I've still got a year to go, so I could either wait for that year to move and go to someone else, or I could stick with PlusNet and just upgrade. So I've stuck with PlusNet. It's their gigabit internet offer, and can I still see it somewhere? Yeah, it's the full fibre gigabit 24-month contract, minimum guaranteed download of 500 megabytes and guaranteed upload of 120 or something like that, I think it was. Which these numbers are just way, way, way higher than anything I get. So even if I get close to that, I'll be happy with that. And as much as I've been saying, PlusNet, you do me proud, that is PlusNet's catchphrase. Catchphrase? Is that the word I'm trying to say? It's what they say in all their adverts. Oh, we're PlusNet, we'll do you proud, because we're a Yorkshire company from Sheffield, and I live in Sheffield, and all that's great. I know a load of people who work there. But I've been slagging them off because my internet keeps going down. Turns out it isn't always PlusNet's fault. I have this Linksys mesh system, and I had a dodgy node which was causing some of my problems. Not all of them, but some of them. So I had to backpedal on that hatred of PlusNet a little bit, because it wasn't always their fault. Right, can everyone be nice to Zen, please? She's new here. She's not been a moderator for long. But yes, loads of almost all of them will guarantee something like that. I think BT guarantees something even higher than that. So PlusNet was one of the lower end ones. So if you get the gigabit offering on full fibre, I'm like, why are you only guaranteeing 500? That seems quite away from what you're advertising, but I'll take it. It'll still be good enough. And because I don't need a phone line anymore, it's the same price. Right, where do we get to? Paul McCarthy, hello. PA Fish and Tanks, good evening all. Good evening yourself, PA Fish and Tanks. Nice to see you here. I've been waiting 15 minutes with Graham swirling, refreshed, and it all came back. So that's not my fault then. That's your internet. Sorry, Aquarium Daily. I'm not the only one with dodgy internet. Am I still live? I appear to be. Just imagine, in a month's time, you'll get to watch this in 4K. I'm going to have to, shave and stuff. Otherwise, I'll be putting people off their dinner. Mickey, hello there. Scott was meant to remind me of the stream but failed in his duties. I think Scott's had a tipple or two, so we'll let him off. But yeah, you'll be able to confirm this. Mickey, did we ever get you on for the Meet the Mods section? I'm going to start that up again when I get my new internet. So, be prepared. Or resign. Have you ever used tetraalgamin? I have not, no. I put some in my aquarium a few hours ago hoping for good results. Well, if it's anything like the algae or whatever that one was that I showed you. What was that called? I forget, but that's really good. Right, where do we get to? And then the third bit of news is I bought myself a decent laptop. Because this is my streaming setup, I've got a laptop from work, which is pathetic. In fact, can we show you? Oh, it's too messy. No, we can't show you. But basically, I have my proper desktop here that you can't see. That runs the stream and is my home PC. So I've got two screens here. So I have the stream running on this screen and I have all my chat and everything on this screen. Then I've got a laptop here for my work. So when I do my proper work, I've got that with a couple of screens here. But it's pathetic, and running OBS and trying to stream and video and code and stuff like that on it, it's no good. We've got another laptop that the wife's got. I've resurrected an old laptop from the death to see if I can upgrade that, and broke it pretty much. No, it still works fine, but I've upgraded everything I can upgrade and it's still not cutting it. So I bought another laptop with a decent processor, a decent amount of RAM and everything, so as I can stream from the fish room. So we can do, rather than me sat here with just one fish tank to point at, I can stream from the fish room. And I know I could have done that anyway by humping all this downstairs, but just a bit easier with a laptop. And then get a couple of cameras down there and I can show you into all the tanks. And we can have, maybe we'll have topic nights where one night we'll look at the discus, the next week we might look at the snakeheads, and the next week we might, or just chop and change, don't know what we're going to do. So that should hopefully arrive soon. And again, that's all thanks to you. That's financed by all your donations, all your YouTube ad revenue just by watching the videos. So I'm trying to reinvest anything that I make either in new fish or equipment or YouTube making stuff, so like extra cameras, microphones, laptop to stream from the fish room, hoping that we make things a bit better, and then we can encourage more people in, and then we get more views and we get more ad revenue, and I can buy even more things to help make the streams better, help make the videos better, and just make things a little bit easier. So that's the plan. So hopefully maybe next week, if I get everything set up in time, we'll do a stream from the fish room, which might be a little bit different. What do you say? Right. Sorry, I won't read that one out. Has the cost of oh god, has the cost of the recent off-gem power increase altered you heating mega tank? I mean, it's definitely a consideration. For those of you who don't know, the UK has gone batshit crazy and decided to charge £15 billion per kilowatt hour of energy consumed. What was the latest? The price cap's gone up to 10 grand or something like that. Was the latest prediction today. Yeah, it makes a difference. The short answer is no. It hasn't made me change what I want to do with Megatank. Heating the room has made a massive difference to my... I know it's summer, so I've not really felt the full force of this, but heating the room has made a massive difference to my energy consumption. And I'm still of the opinion that if I get Megatank up and running and get it up to temperature, once it's up to temperature, water's actually a pretty good conductor or holder of heat. So there'll be a big volume of water there which is at a temperature, and if I can just keep the room at that temperature, that'll even help a little bit. because it'll stave off some of the temperature fluctuations. It's pretty well insulated. I can do more with insulation if I need to. There aren't any external walls in my fish room, so it should hold the heat quite well. And if I get Mega Tank going and filled up, it'll basically be like a big glass radiator, so it'll only help. But in saying that, it's definitely something I've been thinking about. It's like, oh God, why would I be a discus lover in this climate? I keep reading about and talking to people saying, oh, just you wait, discus. People are going to be throwing them away. They're going to be selling them for pennies. They'll be too expensive to keep. People won't want them. You'll be able to get them. I'm like, great. Where are they all then? So I don't see anyone offloading all the discus. Pardon me. Obviously, Stinker are shutting up shop, and I think that's part of what they're doing, they just can't afford. But that's not going to just be on energy prices. I think they've been struggling for a while. Allegedly, maybe. I don't know. I don't want to get into trouble for that. But I'm not seeing anyone giving up quite yet. I'm seeing prices of cold water fish go up, and certainly this year, your fancy goldfish, they seem to be going through the roof in terms of price. The popularity of the cold water fish, the goldfish and all that kind of stuff, I think it's been getting high for a while, but it's continuing to go high. I beg your pardon. If you're watching, Heineken, if you want to sponsor any of these. So I don't see it happening yet, but it's definitely one of the topics of conversation with anyone at the moment is, oh my God, how much does it cost to heat my house? How much does it cost to run my cooker or kettle or whatever, any energy heavy thing. Like, for instance, I've got an electric car, or a hybrid electric car. If I charge it during the day, it's almost free because the solar panels are what the power that's used to charge it. But if I charge it at night, God, it's more expensive than petrol now. So I'm having to think about things like that. Or when do we want to run? So, like running the washing machine or the dishwasher, just do it during the day when the solar panels are on, because they cost so much more to run in the evening. I want to look into like battery storage things, so as I could have solar panels that ran the fish room. If I could have them powering the fish room during the day, and then a battery to take some of the load overnight. But even the batteries are getting so expensive now. So I don't know. It's definitely something that I'm thinking about, but it hasn't made me alter my hobby yet, because ultimately, when I keep saying things like, oh, I bought a new laptop thanks to the money that I'm getting from YouTube, I can stop doing that, and I can divert that money straight into my heating bills or electricity bills, and rather than buying new things or equipment to make things better or more fish, I'll just concentrate on the fish that I've got and use my YouTube revenue to pay for some of those running costs. I'll just eat into it a bit better, so I'll just have to get more viewers and make better content so as I can increase my revenue that way. But it's my hobby. It's annoying and frustrating that it's being hit so hard by these energy price hikes, but at the end of the day, there's people who are like in dire need that are going to be hit a lot more than me going, oh, you're messing with my hobby, Boris, you big idiot. There's people who are like, you're messing with my ability to eat or heat my home, Boris, you big idiot. And it's not Boris's fault. Well, it probably is, but you know what I mean. There's people who this affects a hell of a lot more than it affects me, so I feel like I shouldn't complain. But yeah, if it goes up to 10 grand, goldfish all the way. Pardon me. Right. I missed the Zoom chat interview. Well, you'll be first up when we start them off again. Right, let me see where we can catch up to. What? I think I'm about an hour behind in the chat. I'm very sorry. Noodles off. Oh, he's probably gone by now. Thank you for stopping by. chat is jumping. Chat is jumping. Right, sorry, I'm going to try and catch up a little bit. It's good to see you in blue, Zen, says Paul. Yeah, any more people who want to join the mod team, you will be interviewed live on stream one week, but let me know on Discord if you're interested. Alright, Scott, are you about to upset me here? My work lap has a 30 series GPU in it because I managed to convince my manager to get a better laptop than my colleagues and even him. Yeah, one of the most annoying things about my job, it's not really, but I used to have like a Microsoft Surface, so I could go into meetings with clients going, oh yeah, look at me with my touchscreen and my pen, and I'll take notes and I'll draw pictures and diagrams, and we'll cast it to that screen or this screen. Because essentially, I'm not a salesman, but I'm going in and I'm doing solutioning with clients and things like that. It's more about, it's almost a sales role. It's when you're talking about, right, you're going to need this, you're going to need that, let's work out the details. Now they give me this piece of crap HP ProBook that can barely handle 2 spreadsheets being open at the same time. I was in a client meeting the other day, and the right hand side of my keyboard stopped working. So I'm having to open up the virtual keyboard so as I can at least finish typing out sentences. And it's so frustrating that it can't do even basic stuff. Whereas I used to have this really snazzy one. It was so much better in every way. There's me dad. You'll soon have a laptop and internet. Well, do you know what? God damn it. I went up to see the parents this weekend. My dad's got a better laptop than me, he's got better internet than me, and I'm the IT guy of the family. I'm not having this. So I've gone out and I've bought myself a new laptop and new internet. I was on the phone to PlusNet going, right, this isn't good enough, sort me out, and I want the best you can give me. So I will overtake you as IT man for the family again. 30 series GPU, i7, 11th gen i7, 16 gig RAM. Yeah, you've either got a great manager or a terrible manager. He might be a great manager to you, but he's a terrible manager for the company. Go to a generator and put it under the ground so nobody can hear it. That's not a bad idea. Oh, Craig, I'm sorry. I'm sure your something sounds great. I didn't mean to disparage you in any way. I'd be interested to see the pictures, and it does sound good. And who am I to question you? The more the merrier. That's what I always say when it comes to sumps. Bigger the better. Not more the merrier, but both. Yeah, more the merrier and bigger the better. Aquarium's off. Aquarium Daily, nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, Nathaniel's back. You're not leaving yet, are you? No, it's only 7:10. No, it's not. It's 10:07. Not leaving quite yet. The batteries are so expensive, I think they'll be worth it in the long run. That's what I'm thinking. The more the price goes up. So I was looking at windmills as well. This is an aquarium channel, but the price. No, right, get your words right, Graham. The time it takes to recoup your investments just didn't make sense. So even last year when I was looking at it, it was like, oh, you get your money back in like 10 years. Windmills were even further away because we live at the top of a big hill in Sheffield, basically. So it's always windy here. I thought, brilliant, I could get some windmills, get some free electricity. Fantastic. It doesn't make sense. But now with the way the prices are going, all that's doing is bringing down that window of when you get your investment back. Soon, but if it goes up to 10 grand for the price crap, it'll be like a year you'll get your money back. Battery, there are other things. So there's things I can do with the car, there's things I can do with the hot water that are just £100 here, a couple £100 there. But I think a battery and some kind of storage solution is the way to go. But I'm just the type of guy that I'll have a go at it myself and I'll blow everyone up. So I don't know if that's the way to go. I need to get some professionals in to help. Sorry, I just saw that. Maybe one day, Nathaniel. There's an age limit, minimum age limit. Yeah, the budget per person gave me a budget for mine, and I managed to beat his budget and still beat his specs. Bigger screen too. He went for looks over spec. See, maybe that's fine then. I think my company's just too big. It's one big beast that just says, okay, well, if we buy 10,000 of these pieces of shit laptops, we can give them out to all the grunts and no one will care. It's annoying. It's annoying. Yeah, too young, Nathaniel. You need to be 18 if you want to be a mod. Minimum age 18. And I need 3 different forms of ID and 2 references. Right, I think we've caught up. Oh, Evan, professional architect from Winnipeg, Canada. See that? So exactly as you say, it's the extremes of Canada that interest me. So minus 30 in winter, plus 30 in summer. You can talk energy in buildings if you like. I don't want to talk about it. I want you to come over and fix my building. The only place, and my wife keeps saying this, is well, just during winter we'll just move into the fish room. The only place in this entire house that's kind of insulated properly is the fish room. That's because I did it. The rest of the house, in winter it's bloody freezing, and summer it's bloody roasting. It just, I don't get it how it can be so bad in both environments. You think, oh, in winter it would stay reasonably warm, but in summer it would be fine, or vice versa. But no, it's just takes the extremes and goes, nah, I can't handle it, and it makes it really uncomfortable. So we bought the house, and one of the things we didn't know was there was no insulation under the house anywhere. I'm like, oh, well, that'll be why then. So we've started doing that. There's loads of work that needs to be done that's just kind of unglamorous, unsexy, unappealing work, like crawling through crawl spaces and fitting insulation and all the things that you don't actually see a benefit from, but you feel the benefit from. So we need to do all those things. But yeah, and energy storage solutions, energy efficiency solutions that you can retrofit fairly cheaply, or even DIY. And in any case, that's what I'm interested in. So I'm doing lots of, as any good YouTuber would, I'm doing lots of YouTubing on people's videos on how we've saved energy. We've gone round and we've put expanding foam in all the air gaps and things like that. Like the simple things like changing out windows for double glazing and triple glazing, and changing out walls and cavity insulation, all those kind of things. I just don't know where to start. It's all a bit overpowering. So yeah, if you ever find yourself on holiday, come to Sheffield. Let's talk. Oh, also, I've lived in Scotland before there, yeah, so you'll be used to the extremes and the lows with Scotland then, if not the highs. Oh, there you go. It's less about insulation than air leakage. So, okay. I have gone round every bit of pipe work that comes in or out of the building and filled it with expanding foam, trying to block off some air gaps. But yeah, it's quite a big house as well, so it's anything you want to do, you have to buy a lot of the stuff. Right, Nathaniel, you're not 18. I'm getting a fish tank full of neons. Is that a good idea? They're in a 15 litre. 15 litre? No, I think that's probably not a good idea. 15 litres isn't really a very big fish tank at all. Neon tetras look, in my opinion, look better in a big tank with a lot of them. So you get to see some natural shoaling behaviour. And 15 litres just doesn't give you the space you need to have a decent amount of neon tetras. I would say you want to get a group, so at least kind of 6 or 8, and you just can't fit 6 or 8 in a 15 litre fish tank. So I would look at upgrading your tank, getting as big a tank as you can afford or you can find, and then going for it there. Andrew, I'm hoping to build an outbuilding for multiple aquariums next year in the west of Scotland, but the rising energy prices might put a stop to that, unfortunately. And I think a lot of people are in the same boat, Andrew, where they're pressing pause on lots of projects. Pardon me. For fear. Because it's all you hear on the news these days is, energy price rises, there's going to be people who are choosing heating over food, or vice versa. There's people who it's going to be quite dire for. The ramifications of these price hikes, or the lack of help from anyone, is going to be making a lot of people make a lot of really tough decisions. So you feel then, it's only my hobby, clearly I should stop doing this. So, yeah. So I fully understand that if you have to press pause on some of these projects, but if you can keep going, the way I'm spinning it to myself at least is to look at it and say, right, I can't necessarily do it the same way I was going to do it. So if it was an outbuilding for me, I'd now be looking at, right, I've got an extra step in my project now. I can't just have an outbuilding, throw some fish tanks in there, and away we go. Whereas maybe a few years ago you might look at insulation as being not a luxury, but you might not give it as much care and attention as you probably need to now. So now it's probably one of the first things you think about rather than the third or the fourth thing you think about. Because a well-insulated building, it then makes your heating cost almost a one-off. Not quite a one-off, but it's you get things up to temperature, and then it's how well does that temperature get managed and controlled in the space that you're in. Ooh, I went all weird there for a minute. So if you're in a really bad or poorly insulated building, you're constantly topping up that temperature as that heat leaks. But if you're in a really well insulated building or area, your heat is trapped. It's not going anywhere, so you don't need to keep topping it up. That's the idea. And doing things different ways, whether that's insulating your floor. When I went to see Dan today, he had his water butts on polystyrene because he was losing most of his heat through the floor, and a lot of people don't think about that. Even me having my my racks is just that, lifting that off the floor and giving that floor a little bit of space for the air to flow through and take away any coolness, and give roots for airflow to take away things. And that doesn't make any sense. What am I trying to say? Not having things sat on the floor so your heat isn't leaching away, having it up and having that bit of air cushion, even if it's just not touching the ground, makes a big difference as well. So there are ways to do these things. It's not necessarily I have to just bin this idea or I have to bin this plan, but it's certainly you have to think about it a little bit more. No upset. I wasn't upset, and I hope you weren't upset. I didn't mean it to sound like, oh, why are you having 2 8-foot sumps? You don't need that. It's interesting. Everyone has something to learn from anyone else. So I know where you're coming from. But yes, definitely join the Discord up there. Show us your progress. Show us your pictures. Talking about insulation, is it worthwhile insulating the walls on an outside pond? I'm thinking of building. Yes, it is. Lots of the koi pond builders, they will, whether it's just cinder blocks or whatever, they build their tank out of, they then put insulation against it and then fiberglass on top of the insulation, because that just helps. Every little helps. It could be the difference between your pond freezing over winter and not. 30 litre, would that do for your neon tetras? Even 30 litres, that's still a very small aquarium. I'd be looking for something kind of maybe in the 90, 100 litres and getting a good bunch of them so you get some proper joy out of it. ABC, I lived in Scotland for 8 months. Absolutely loved it there. Oh, well, of course you would. Who wouldn't? I lived there for 21 years. Pardon me. Now we go into night mode. I don't know why that's happened. Bear with me, callers. So that's what happens when your battery powered light that you thought was plugged into a USB socket isn't, and it runs out of battery. So now we're going to go with this colouring. Hopefully you can still see me. There you go. So David, if you have any pond questions, Mickey's your man, and you can follow his pond build on Discord as well. Paul says, my fish room's in the garage and definitely more insulation in there, radiator in there, but need to change garage door to an insulated one. Yeah, that'll be where you're losing most of it. That's why my fish room's in the garage as well, but I've built a room inside the garage just to keep that heating a little bit better. There you go. You're almost doing it for me. Yeah, but they're like £1,000. No, they're not. My problem now is I've sealed my room so good the humidity is oh yeah, no, that is a problem. Starting to get a bit of mould, so yeah, I know where you're coming from. When I had my small fish room, so my mini fish room, same thing, wanted to insulate it all, make sure that was it, and yeah, it was just getting so humid, but I also ran a dehumidifier in there, which is playing off a little bit of your energy costs, because it costs money to run a dehumidifier, but it also helps heat your room. So I don't know whether that would still stack up now. Might be something to look into. Yes, lots of cheap tanks on the marketplace, definitely not £1,000. I mean, even if you go somewhere expensive and buy something brand new, you're not paying £1,000 for a fish tank. That's a 90 litre. Jeremy, dehumidifier and tops on everything, definitely. It's a balancing act, isn't it? It's why houses have air bricks and things like that, where you need to have some way for that to escape, and whether that's a dehumidifier out to the inside, or if it's a one-way valve, a heat exchanger, there's loads of ways you can look at that, but they all add cost, and it's trying to weigh up, well, better to invest in something that's a big outlay but lower running costs, or smaller outlay and bigger running costs, when you don't know what the running costs are going to be, because they keep changing the bloody price of energy. It's really hard. That's a very specific number, Nathaniel. But the aquarium I go to, they're all 400. They're like £481. They're like £481. Right. Let's play a game, shall we? We'll go on to Amazon. Type in Aquarium. Diversi. Lid, LED light, 112 litres, £169. 54 litres, £109. Even that'd probably be good for some neon Tetras, a nice little tank like that. But there you go, that comes with a light, a lid. You don't even, all you need to buy is a sponge filter and an air pump, and you're away. And that's not cheap. There are 10 different ways you can get something cheaper. Let's see, where did you say you were? I can't remember where you said you were, but let's go on Faceplant Marketplace, Aquarium, 70 gallon, £81, dual tank bundle, £130, large fluval tank, £160, and this isn't just because I live in Sheffield. These will be all over the place. There's always people getting rid of things. Deals to be had, let's just put it that way. So think a little bit outside the box. Go to your pardon me, your local groups, whether it's even on eBay, just search for things in your locality. Facebook Marketplace, Gumtree, What other places? Even going to your local fish shops. Ask them, you get anything going, second-hand tanks? Have you get any ideas? Often people will post in the windows of local fish shops saying, I'm selling up, I'm getting rid of this, that and the other. So definitely deals to be made out there. Yep, Maidenhead Aquatics. They've often got good deals on, but some of their tanks are up there. Because they do the Aqua Oak ones, don't they? So yeah, you can spend the £1,000, but you by no means have to. My 4-foot free aquarium was going to be for shell dwellers, but current plan is now white clouds and golden barbs with some Hellstream loaches, so you don't have to eat it. A lot of people are doing that. Pardon me. Silver Creek, hopefully not too drunk. Got about 65 fish out of my 120 finally. Fish everywhere. It's a nightmare. David got to go early start in the morning. I might have an early start as well tomorrow. I might go actual fishing. Ooh. Depends what the weather's going to be like. Let's look it up. Number 2 son wants to go fishing. Number 1 dad also wants to go fishing. So make a change from DIY. Weather. Sheffield. Oh, looks good. Yeah, might have a wee morning's fishing tomorrow or afternoon's fishing. Who knows? Yeah, that is true. I remember when I was 13, scoring some, or digging up some money. It's not easy. It's not. But don't be put off thinking you have to spend £1,000 to get a decent sized fish tank. It's just not true. It's that age old problem of, if you've only got a small tank, don't cram it full of things that are ultimately going to die because it's not big enough for them. So as much as you want to have an aquarium that's crammed full of fish so you get to enjoy the fish, ultimately it doesn't work. So you don't get to enjoy them because they don't behave naturally. They don't exhibit healthy behaviour because they're in too cramped a space. There are kind of minimum requirements. Don't get put down by all these rules, but we're trying to help out. I really don't like these really small tanks. It's fine if they're for some kind of purpose, like if you're trying to breed some fish, or you're trying to raise some fry, or you're trying to quarantine some fish. Yeah, the 24 litre tanks from Pets at Home that are 20 quid or whatever they are, they're fantastic for that. If you're trying to enjoy your fish tank, spend that money more wisely, where you get a bigger tank, or save up, rather than it's not wasting your money, but if you spend a lot of money on a lot of fish to put them in a tank where they ultimately will die because they're not going to handle that tank size well enough, you're going to be more upset about it than anything, because you've wasted your money. At the end of a couple of months later, you've got no fish and an empty fish tank. Whereas if you just waited a few months, saved up a bit more pocket money, waited for a birthday or a Christmas and asked for something a bit bigger, not only can you get more fish in that tank and see a more enjoyable aquarium, you can also have more options. So you don't necessarily have to limit yourself to a very small fish. But conversely, don't make the mistake of thinking, I'm going to get a 100 litre tank, great, I'm going to get 5 Oscars. No. You need to be very harsh with yourself and say, no, I'm not going to do anything stupid, or you'll end up having a worse experience and you'll be out of the hobby because you will feel like you can't do it because you're not giving the appropriate care or space to the fish that you want to keep. So always go bigger. Always research your fish. I mean, you don't have to come on here and ask me this. You've got Google, you've got the internet, you're on YouTube. Go and just Google neon tetra tank size, neon tetra care guide, neon tetra, whatever it is, and you'll see the kind of. And you don't have to stick to that religiously. If that says, oh, you need a 60 litre tank, but you've got a 55, it'll be fine. But don't at the same time think if they say you need a 60 litre tank and you get a 10 litre tank, it'll be fine. That won't. If you're too far away, you're going to have a horrible time. That's my 10 pence worth, though. Where do we get to? Okay, well, I'm going to get 100 litre, then put in 30 neons as their waste and that. I don't know what it means. King of DIY, welcome. Not seen you for a couple of weeks. Did someone mention DIY? Yeah, but actual DIY. Not even to do with fish tanks. Oh, Nathaniel. So, don't forget to check your water parameters. Make sure it has a filter. If you want to see the fish have plants, I'll just get them pH stuff. So you're going about this the wrong way. This is clearly designed to wind me up. You're about this close to getting booted. You're about this close from getting booted. It's going to be SpongeBob themed. Hey, you do you. If you like a SpongeBob themed aquarium, you go for it. But do your... See, I don't know whether you're taking the piss or not now. Do a bit more research, that's all we'll say. Alright, blah blah blah. I'm going to ignore you now for a while. Silver Creek. Half my tanks came from being patient on Facebook Marketplace, even my big one, and the big one was free. Yeah, I'm always envious of people where it's usually in America, so I don't know whether things just work differently over there. Where the story's not normally something like, I was just driving along and I found this 300-gallon aquarium sat by the side of the road, took it home, filled it with water, and it was perfect. You're like, Meanwhile, here in the UK, we've got Karen from Chesterfield selling her 150 litre tank, asking £600 for it. But like, what? But mind you, I've had some proper scores on Facebook. I got a couple of tanks. My breeder tanks, they were a £5 each. Brilliant. So it is about being patient. It is about looking and not. It's not setting your expectations wrong. It's about setting your own budgets and your own mindset. I want to spend £50, and not just going for everything. £50, £50. That's all I can get. I'll buy it. It's just, watch it for a few weeks. There's no rush. Fish aren't going to go away anywhere, and see what pops up. Worried all the fish shops in the UL go bust this winter. Where does the hobby go then? I know it's very worrying for high energy businesses, whether it's a fish shop or any other kind of shop where, yeah, running costs are just going through the roof, and I don't see any more trade coming in. Because as much as your big box stores in the fish world, certainly in the UK, it's your Pets at Home, it's your Maidenhead Aquatics, and there are a few other ones where there are several branches of them, but it's the small independent ones that I worry about, because your Pets at Home, they'll just raise the prices on everything. Your Maidenhead Aquatics, they'll be fine. It's your small independents whose margins are already slim, trying to compete with these big box stores. Yeah, it's a worrying time. Maybe I need to go and visit some more and support some more local fish shops and show them some love. Amazon Research Centre for Ornamental Fishes. Hello from the other side of the pond. Hello there. I've not seen you for a while. SpongeBob theme for the win. Definitely. Hey, there's nothing wrong with some clown puke, as Scott is saying there. Nothing wrong with some clown puke gravel and some SpongeBob pineapples and stuff. Each to their own, very much so. Oops. I don't know what you're talking about, Scott. I'm sure it's fine. Oh, so this is a UK story. We were driving along one day and saw a big tank in front garden just waiting to be tipped. Knocked on and asked if... And they were more than happy for us to take it for free. 300 litres and no leaks. But maybe it's just me. I never see these deals. But like I say, that's not true. I have had some good deals off Facebook Marketplace, but it seems to be everyone in America is just driving around getting free massive fish tanks everywhere. Don't know the ins and outs of it. Business don't have an energy cap like a homeowner, so I don't think it will affect them as much of us. The lack of sales will. Yeah, so I guess there's two bits there. It's people aren't buying fish because they don't want to spend the extra money on a tropical tank at home, as well as the prices going up for the business as well. So I know they don't have the energy price cap like a homeowner does, but they do have the rising prices do affect businesses as well, and I think it affects them more. As Graham says, it's not about every really got to have that bargain, else you upset your partner and the family start looking at you sideways. I know that look as well. Yeah, but it's the energy thing. It's something that at home we talk about a lot. At work we're talking about it a lot. My clients are talking about it a lot. Everything is getting... It's now a consideration everywhere where it used to not be a consideration. Or not as high up the priority list, let's put it that way. Right. Any fishy questions or fishy topics anybody wants to know about? We've done a lot about energy, beer, and what else can we talk about? Should we do some admin? How many people have we got? Have I bored everyone to tears and they've all gone? 61 people concurrently viewing and only 54 likes. Come on, we can get that up. We only need 7 more likes. Although 2 of you have just left. I love it when that happens. But come on, we can get that up there. As always, you've got Discord over there. Ooh. We can... Is it there? Click the subscribe button. Subscribe button if you haven't already. You can join the channel, join the Discord, watch a video. It all helps. Mickey, sold my first ever tank years ago, original box and all. It really was best price. I like to think they got some kid hooked on the hobby. I mean, that's why I'll often just give away fish or give away equipment if it is someone that's not necessarily just a kid, just someone that's new or clearly in need. I've sold tanks before where they've come to buy a tank and they've asked me about it, going, oh, do I need a heater or a filter? Where would I get that from? And I've just gone, oh, here, take this. Here's a sponge filter, an air filter, an air pump, a sponge filter, and some water test kits, and just giving them the whole lot, because I think that's someone that's going to have a positive experience rather than... And what I was trying to say to Nathaniel earlier was, if you start off wrong, if you start off on a bad foot, you're going to have a terrible time and you're not going to enjoy your hobby. If your first foray into fish keeping is killing a load of fish, you're not going to enjoy it and you're not going to want to keep doing it. But if your first foray into fish keeping is successful and you get to see some fish thrive, and when they are thriving, they're brightest, they're most patterned, they're most active, that's going to help you out. If that makes sense. Mystery ahead. Hello, I'm new to fish keeping. What's best for a starter? I would say, so that's a bit of an open-ended question. What's best for a starter? It's going to be different for everyone. What's best for a starter is to find a kind of, I would say, like a buddy system. Whether that's, if you're into Facebook, you join some Facebook groups and you engage with some people, that can be fine. I find it quite hard on Facebook, unless it's a specific thing. Like if you're into discus, you join a discus group and you ask some discus questions, you'll find people help you out. I'm sure the same things exist for gouramis or for tetras or for whatever. If you find a community that's more general, whether that's like Aquarium Co-op or me, join my Discord up there. If you're at the stage where you don't even know what you want to keep or what you want to get out of it, you'll find people who are more than eager to help newbies, just get them up and get them running, rather than what you find on Facebook. A lot of the more generic groups is, you're doing it wrong. It's attack rather than help and lift. So if you find a community, and I'm not just saying that because I have a Discord server and I want people to join it, I also have a Facebook group. Nobody ever goes there, but it's fine. Find a community where you feel comfortable enough that you can ask some questions and you get some advice. Now, even if that advice is wrong or I disagree with that advice, at least you're there and you've got someone to go back to when you have problems. You will have problems, so just expect that. I would look at then saying, right, your starter kit is the equipment you need. So if we're talking tropical and freshwater, then you're going to need a tank. That's kind of a basic requirement. I always say get the biggest tank you can afford, whether that's in terms of the space that you can fit it into or the amount of money that it's going to cost, because the hobby gets increasingly easier the bigger the tank size goes. I'm not saying rush out and go, well, I'm quite rich, I'm going to go and buy a 10,000 gallon aquarium. There's a point where it becomes silly, but if you can get a 3-foot aquarium, a lot of people go, oh, I don't want something that big to start off with. That's actually much easier to start with than a 1-foot aquarium. So bigger is better. Try and get, often they'll come with kits. Whether you get one that'll come with a light and a filter and a heater, that's fine. If not, you're probably going to want a light, you're probably going to want a heater, and you're probably going to want a filter. Some of them aren't negotiable. You will need a filter if you want to keep your fish healthy and happy. There are ways to do without these things, but that's for a more advanced aquarist. So get your tank, get your community, and say, I'm new, what should I do? And you'll get, within that community, there will almost always be people sharing pictures of tanks that you can look through lists of tanks and go, oh, I quite like the look of that one. Oh, that one's quite nice. I like those plants. What are those plants? How do I keep those plants? Do you even want plants? You can talk about the plants that you want. I would suggest plants always help. And then go for something that's interesting to you. So if you've got no idea and you don't know what you want to do, guppies, endlers, live bearers, my personal opinion is that they're fantastic. So you get to learn so much about the evolution of a fish life cycle in a small little fish. Very colourful, very patterned, very active. It kind of gives you everything you want to get used to with raising fish and keeping fish, and you get a greater understanding. They also don't live for 20 odd years. So if you want to move on and move up into more specific things, then that gives you a chance to do that as well. So I would go with, unless you have a specific fish that you want, you might have seen, oh, cardinal tetras, they're cool as hell, I want to get them. Fine, we can help you build a cardinal tetra tank, but find somebody who has find some people who have ideas and are willing to help you. 'Cause it'll just be so much more. Lost the power of speech. It'll be so much easier to get to the point you want to get to if you have people helping you out. And remember, I'm just a person on the internet. Ignore me freely. Do what you want to do as well, but take advice, and then it's up to you whether or not you use that particular advice or you go with someone else's advice. That's fine, but take lots of opinions and lots of suggestions, and then you know what kind of track you want to go down, and then enjoy. That's about it. Oh, and buy all your food from aquariumadventures.co.uk. Oh, made me feel sick. Amazon Research Centre, it's been a strange year. Rivers have not receded yet. Next year will be a banner year for recruitment of fish for sure. Yeah, I haven't even thought about that. The rivers here are struggling, as are lakes and reservoirs. It's been raining here all week yet. We've got hosepipe ban coming in, droughts, and it's strange times. What are your 5 favourite types of barbs? I've always had a soft spot for tiger barbs. Never kept them, but they've always been one of those ones where I've thought, oh, they look cool. Odessa barbs. I think they look fantastic. I do like the what's the wee teeny ones, cherry barbs. They're pretty cool, and there's a few different strains of cherry barbs, isn't there? I've never ranked barbs before. I've never really been into barbs, if I'm completely honest. I don't know. I have to think about that one. I'm hoping to get into breeding fish. How do you move fish on in a rural area? I'm worried about having a lot of fish with no future home. It is a concern. Pardon me. So my local fish clubs are usually a good place to start. So when I was breeding lots of fish, I'd obviously sell them on my website. I would take them to local fish shops where they would take them. But I live in a city, so I have a choice of a few where I could go to. So that might not be an option rurally. Fish clubs might not be an option rurally if you're far away from it. It depends what your fish you're breeding. If you're breeding guppies, that is going to be hard, and you might have to do your own population control. And what I mean by that is you let nature take its course. Guppies will thin out their own numbers after a while. But if you're doing something more specialist, you'd be surprised how far people will travel to get good fish. And then you have places like eBay, apps like Band, you can sell fish on there. But if you can join a club, but even if it's not a local club, they often have breeding programs and things like that where they can help you out with it, and then they can help you get rid of your fish afterwards as well and put them on to other people to start their own breeding programs. But yeah, it can be difficult, especially. So I got myself into a situation once with Crebensis where I accidentally bred 1,000 Crebensis, and I'm like, what the hell am I going to do with all these bloody fish? And I was like maxing out the fish shops. They were like, no, we don't want any more. I was like, oh, you can have them for free. And they were like, no, we don't want any more. Stop bringing them here. So I had to give them to friends, people in clubs. I had to offer them up on eBay and Facebook and things like that. And in the end, I just had to kind of separate them and stop them breeding for a while. And yeah, it can be problematic. Should I try some small fish in a 60 litre? I mean, you can try it. It's more, as I was in research, what do you like? I would spend more time researching potential fish than buying equipment. So buying the equipment should be the bit you do once you've decided what you want to keep. So go on YouTube, look at what, I mean, even if you can't stand the sound of my voice, go and look at some other fishy YouTubers. There's lots of species profiles and things like that out there. Aquarium Co-op, they've covered most things, as have many of the other ones. I know I don't want to just pick out that one, but you'll see lots of different tanks and lots of different styles of tanks. Look on the fish fam type websites, type YouTube channels. You'll see people who are keeping mainly cichlids, who are keeping mainly live bearers, who are keeping discus, whatever it might be. You'll find the more channels you watch, the more will be suggested to you, and the more you will see new things. And some of them might take your fancy, and some of them you'll be like, couldn't care less about that. And then once you've found the thing that you're interested in, that's when you ask your questions about it, and you figure out whether it is really for you. Like, I don't know how anyone can research discus and not think, that's the fish for me, they're the coolest of fish, they are the kings of the freshwater aquarium. But you might think, oh no, they need quite a big tank, and I'm going to have to heat it to quite a degree. Oh no, that's not for me. So do your research up front, and then come to the equipment bit. Yeah, so Andrew, take them to your local pet shop. If you do have a local pet shop, and some of them they won't give you anything. Some of them will give you store credit, some of them will give you money off some other fish that you might want, or some fish food or whatever. Some of them will just be like, I'll take them, but you're not getting anything. So it's also, if you are interested in breeding, it's also worth having that conversation with those potential avenues up front. So you go and you talk to your local fish shop and say, I'm thinking of getting into breeding convicts. And they go, well, don't come here then, because I don't want any of your convicts. But if you breed corridoras, yeah, bring them in. So maybe that's the way to go. Maybe tetras or minnows. Both good options. Question or advice. I have 2 male cribs, both in separate tanks. I bought 2 female today, 1 for each male. When I got home, I was worried about adding just 1 female. So for now, put in own tank. When I got home, I was worried about just adding 1 female in. Is there a second half to that question? So is that okay to put them? What I would do is I'd put all of them in the same tank and see if you see any kind of behaviour. Generally, you want 2 females to every male with cribs, or is it the other way around? Oh, it's been so long. I found that if you want to breed cribbensis, you have a male, you have a female, and you have water, and then you're breeding cribbensis. But generally, you want to have. I can't remember. I'm sure I just had 1 male and 1 female, and then had 1 million cribbensis. I'm trying to Google and speak at the same time. I mean, I can hear you all in the background going, no, you idiot, just 1 of each. Yeah. Just a pair, a male and a female. I mean, there's no guarantee that they'll get on and they might kill each other, but I would add them all into the same tank to see if they pair up naturally, so they have a chance. And it also, a little bit of competition helps. So if one of them sees the other one pairing up, they might be like, oh no, look at me, look how beautiful I am, see my colours. Like I say, I started with 1 of each. The general perceived wisdom is that you get a group and let them grow up together and wait for one to pair off and then get rid of the other 4. But then you're kind of creating a problem for yourself to where do you pump them off to. So I'd put them in a tank together, see if they pair off, and then move them after that. Lots of sight breaks, lots of caves, lots of places to hide. You should be fine. To be fair to Nathaniel, my growing up experience was my parents' aquarium, which a water change was a swear word. We had far too many regular trips to get new fish. I know that. I know that. Where have I gone? Oh, we've only got 5 minutes left and I'm miles behind. Right, let's speed round. Are cardinals bigger than neons? Yes. And more colourful. Well, the cardinals you can sell because the line of colour goes all the way to the end rather than just halfway on a neon. Lily Loft, how are you? I use my AA bag. Yeah, pets at home, they don't accept fish. I've had that same thing. You can't really do it on Facebook either because it's frowned upon and the groups get closed down if you try and sell fish there. But there's an app called Band, B-A-N-D, where most of the groups on Facebook have moved to there for their selling pages. Rhubarbs, that's my favourite barb. Denison barbs. Oh, there was a whole thing about Denison barbs. I had to sign up to some kind. I didn't have to. I did sign up to some kind of. They're becoming endangered or something like that. Where did I see that? I'll come back to that. Are you just a fish keeper or animals? I have animals. I used to have loads of animals. I have 2 dogs, 1 cat, 2 lizards, 2 hamsters. But I used to have snakes, more lizards, snails, all kinds of stuff. Lily's selling my Schulze. Oh, get in touch with Lily. I know you did before and I've completely forgotten about it, but let's talk. Although I'm surrounded by thousands of fish in the lab here, I miss my fish at home and of course my family. I like the way you put that. I miss my fish at home. Oh, and my family. I know you didn't mean that, but it came off funny. Started breeding Sterbai Corydorus. Probably continue down that route. I mean, Sterbais, they are a very popular fish, so you shouldn't have any trouble getting rid of them. Especially us discus keepers, we like to keep Sterbais because they do well with the heat that you keep with the discus. So I've known people who've driven the length of the country to pick up a good group of Sterbai, so you should have no trouble with them. I just went through the chat. I don't blame anyone for stopping that annoying kid, Nathaniel. Alright, Nathaniel. Right. Thank you very much for joining me, everyone. It's reached that time. We are, as always, going to be on Discord if you want to afterwards. You can join us on the link up here. You can watch my latest video, which will be coming out tomorrow, maybe, Sunday maybe, about my new discus that I picked up from Dan. I went to visit today, and then next week we might even stream from the fish room, so that should be good. But for now, I will bid you all adieu and say thank you for joining me. Goodbye. Goodbye!